Okay, in this lesson we'll finally go to ZBrush. It's a bit hard to get everything in screen, so I try to crop it as properly as possible. I hope you guys can see everything. So we're going to import our OBJs, which we I'm still adjusting a little bit, trying to get more in screen. So we select like a cylinder 3D. It doesn't really matter, but it has to be a tool, and we move to our folder where the OBJs are, which is in the Digital Tutors folder on my tab. Here you can see all the OBJs we saved out, and let me just pause that for you guys. As you can see, we made tools for everything that goes together. I made 2 tools for the belts just because it makes it easier to edit them. I made 1 tool for the boots, a tool for the dagger sheath, a tool for the eyes, handles, head. Well, everything that is sort of the same material gets either its own tool, or I make multiple tools with it for like the head and the hands, because I want to be able to edit those separately. Okay, so we select whatever we want, so the stand for instance, and then we go back to our cylinder, press import again, and we go back to our cylinder, press import again. It's important you go back to your cylinder, because otherwise it tries to import it over your previous import, and it tries to change the topology, which you don't want to. It's nice in some cases where you want to update your imported OBJ, but this is not one of those cases, so we just keep going back and one by one selecting all our OBJs. Okay, right hand, shirt, shirt sleeves. We already did the stand. I did the stand first because I want that to be my main subtool. The main subtool, it always seems to keep its material, and for the stand I don't really care about it. So we select the stand, and we go to subtool and we select append, and then you can see there are all the tools we just imported. So we just select the head, and again we do this for all the imported subtools, or the imported OBJs, and we just append them, and they all come together and they all come in at the right position, which you can't really see now yet because I didn't draw it on the canvas. Again, I try to keep stuff together. Like the shirt and the undershirt, and the pants, and the left hand, the right hand, stuff that, you know, that'll just make it a little bit easier later on to find the tools. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, try to be neat. And you can reorganize them later, so it's not of vital importance. I'm just saying. Okay, did we get everything? I think we did. Yeah. Okay, now we draw it on the canvas and we press edit, and there is our blocking model. And with shift you can always center it, or at least make it straight to camera. Yeah. So from here we're just going to take each subtool by itself and just edit that, slowly build it up, subdivide it, and sculpt on it. Just looking at it from different sides, creating a little bit more for you guys to see. I guess you don't have to see the top bar there. There's just more in on the screen with ZBrush, or at least it seems to be that way. You want to have it on the biggest monitor you can, and for these web movies I can't. So if you click the little eye icon, it'll isolate that subtool, and we can just start some light sculpting. Just press B and it gives you your tools, and if you then press M, it'll give all the tools that start with an M, and then you see all the letters there. So the move is V, so if you press M for B, M, V, which is for B for brushes, and then M for move, and then V for the actual move tool, that would be the hotkey for your move tool. So you can find those yourself. Check that you're just that you're always you know, it's important that you just do Z add or Z sub and don't paint with materials at this point, because you don't want to. Don't set your Z intensity too high, because yeah, it'll create weird results. And which is really important, don't start with subdividing like crazy, especially because we already got like a relatively good base mesh. You know, you want to get those shapes in there first before you start adding more details. So this, I guess the same goes, which also went for the blocking stage. Don't add too much detail until you're sure of it. Okay, I'm gonna jump a little bit ahead here. I'm just doing some preliminary moving around. Okay, so first subdivision of the head there, or I think it's actually still same subdivision. I subdivided the shirt. I've subdivided the shirt though, because that's definitely gonna need some. Definitely gonna need subdivision to get any detail in there. But only once, and start moving and pushing and pulling. I tend to, you know, for this it's a lot of the move tool and standard brush and maybe clay build. Clay build is nice for when you have a lot of polys, because it just it's nice to sketch out stuff, but it also works for this. And even at this early stage, I already add folds, or try to create the illusion of it. It'll enforce it later on, and it's really important that you put the broad, big shapes in there at the smallest amount of detail, because they will come through later, and then the higher you go, the smaller your detail should be, because otherwise you just have like a very simple shape with a lot of really fine detail on it, which you don't see. So you want to have big things, you know, interesting things. So well, it's just starting out here with some forms. Let me well, I'm gonna continue this in the next lesson, and we're gonna keep shaping our form. All right, see you guys there.